I'm not a morning person.
Dedicated to being passionate about it.
Bodybuilders have become more lazy.
People have always thought I lift fake weights in Iran and the United States.
You take responsibility for that.
So what are some of the things that you love about the bodybuilding industry today, and some things that you don't like and you want to see change?
I love the friendships that I made, man. I made so many close friends. Like, there are guys like Branch and Jay that I would read in the magazines about, and they call me every day. We text there. It's just the friends that I made and the places that I've been, the shows that I've competed in, the ones that I've won, the ones that I've lost, just experience. Like, I love what bodybuilding has brought to me. Like, it brought me so many memories and good friends. I wouldn't change it for the world. One thing I hate about it is I think now the love for training is becoming more of a love for social media. And I would just like to see people just be a little bit more passionate about the fucking gym and not so much about camera angles. You know, people look at me and they're like, in that video, they were like, well, your camera guy was in their way and your camera, the crew this. And my point is this: the camera crews came after success. I didn't have a camera crew in the gym when I was an amateur filming me every fucking day. Like, and the reason why I made that comment is because the people next to me were filming. And I'm like, and my point was, for who? Like, I'm being filmed because I'm being paid to do what I do. Like, what audience are you filming for? Like, maybe I believe that if some kids put the effort into the gym and put the phone away and worried about bettering themselves in the gym, that with progression in time, and if we're talking about bodybuilding and them competing and doing well, like, that's when you're going to get noticed and recognized, and you'll have your photo shoots and your video shoots. But it's like they're trying to be in our shoes as professionals before even stepping on stage, and it's frustrating. And there's, in my eyes, and I don't think it's bad to say, but for me to say it's not disrespectful to think that a 20-year-old kid has a camera crew filming himself working out because he thinks he's trying to be on the same level as somebody like me, what I do, is crazy. Like, I would never act like I'm a professional football player on social media because I'm not a professional football player. But you're gonna act like you're a professional bodybuilder or a professional trainer, and you're 20 years old and you have a camera crew. Like, work for what you have. Like, earn it. Don't just like buy a camera.
So my next question is, okay, so that's a good point you just made. My next question about that is, so what advice do you give to bodybuilders, young bodybuilders who want to be bodybuilders, right? They want to take it seriously, but how do you make money, right? I mean, the only way to make money right now is social media. Like, you're not even going to get assigned to a supplement company without the following, right? So They have to do this, don't you think? They have to get their phones, film in the gym. Like, they have to do that in order to actually make money eventually.
I think taking out your cell phone and filming a clip here and there is fine. I think having ring lights and tripods and all that shit in the gym for a newbie is absolutely fucking ridiculous. But my thing is this, is if you don't, let's say you have 300 followers and you keep putting out the same content, right? And you're not really gaining any, like, where are those videos going? Who's seeing those videos? If you're not, like, there is very few people on Instagram that are influencers that just got there by not doing, like, most of them are either professional athletes, professional bodybuilders, or you have your one-offs, like your Bradley Martins, like your Cali Muscle, like your Big Boys, but those guys. But they also have a niche following, all of those guys. And they bring something to the table. And so I tell everybody, when people go, I want to be sponsored, I'm like, why? Ask yourself, if you were a supplement company, why would you sponsor you? Why? And it's like, what is a one-arm waitress going to bring to the fucking table? Nothing. They can't bring that much. So it's like, what do you expect?
Wow, what an analogy.
What do you expect from a kid, like, who doesn't have that's what I don't understand. Like, maybe people go, well, you're old and you're old school. But, like, when I was an amateur, even early pro, if I got filmed, it was for my sponsors. And I didn't start filming until I got sponsors. And you might people like, yeah, well, you need a following, but a lot of times being a good bodybuilder on stage will get you that following. You don't have to put out the videos to get a good following. You could literally not put out one video, have an Instagram account, become Mr. Olympia, and have 1 million followers overnight.
I have a question for you. So obviously you're a pro bodybuilder. You worked hard to get your pro card. You know what I mean? You competed, like you busted your ass constantly, right? And then at some point in the fitness industry, you mentioned some guys like the influencers. They're not competitive bodybuilders, but they came in the industry and they suddenly blew up, and the social media went through the roof. Did that ever bother you as a pro? That they kind of like getting a lot of the spotlight, even though they're not as knowledgeable as you, for instance, or other competitive bodybuilders?
No, because they don't really act like they know it. Like Big Boy from Strength Cartel, like the guy's one of the most like amazing athletes I've ever seen. Like, I don't know if you ever watched some of his stuff. He can do like a human flag, he can skateboard, he can drop it from a half pipe, he runs like he does crazy stuff. Like, he's an athlete. Bradley Martin, I mean, he's an athlete. You know, maybe they just didn't. I think Bradley Martin actually did a bodybuilding show. Yeah. But he didn't like, maybe he just didn't like bodybuilding. Maybe he felt, well, I wasn't good at it. But there's a lot of things that he's good at, that he brings to the table, and he's a great guy. So that's what I said, like, you have to have a niche following, which they did, and they gained followers and gained traction and monetized on it. But that those are one-offs, and I think the problem is that every single kid wants to be that one-off. You know, I just feel like everybody's trying to be Instagram famous because it's a way to make money without really working. And like, I'm sorry, but like, I grew up working my balls off, like not just in the gym, but like I had a fucking job, like I worked. Like, I feel like the whole Instagram thing is like the easy way out these days.
If you're good at it, if you can build it up, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure. Last thing I want to ask you guys, do you think having an ego for a bodybuilder is a good thing?
As far as, in what way? Like that you're better than everybody?
Having an ego, like, sure.
I never thought I was better than anybody. The only thing I ever thought, or in my would try to get in my head, is that I would try to outwork everybody. I would actually say that I am probably one of the worst genetically gifted bodybuilders on the stage. So do I think having an ego is good? I think being confident is good. I think believing you're better than everybody is horrible. You can believe that you can physically beat somebody on stage, but to think you're just overall better than somebody, I think is a horrible trait to have.